Imagine you wake up one morning and you don't recognize yourself. The friends you used to have, gone. The family who raised you, strangers. Your bank account, emptied. Your name, replaced. And the terrifying part? You handed all of it over willingly. You smiled while you did it. This is not a horror story. This happened to over 1,000 people in Jonestown. It happened in Waco. It is happening right now in cities you know, to people exactly like you. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on the 7-step psychological machinery that strips a human being down to nothing and rebuilds them in someone else's image. Step 1. Love bombing. You are exhausted, maybe lonely, maybe just searching. And then you walk into a room and everyone in it treats you like you are the most important person who has ever lived. They remember your name, they laugh at your jokes, they call you gifted, special, chosen. Researchers call this love bombing, a calculated flood of affection designed to bypass your rational defenses. Your brain, wired for belonging, cannot tell the difference between genuine warmth and engineered warmth. By the time the warmth is withdrawn, when it always is, you are already addicted to it. Step 2. Isolation. It starts subtle. A comment about how your old friends don't understand your growth. A schedule so full of group activities, there is simply no time for outside relationships. Phone calls monitored, visits discouraged. Every cult in recorded history has used isolation because isolation does something devastating to the human mind. It removes every competing perspective. When the only voices you hear belong to the group becomes reality itself. Step 3. Identity erosion. New name, new clothing, new dietary rules, new sleeping schedule, new language, a private vocabulary that only members share. This is not cosmetic. Cognitive science shows us that when you change how a person speaks, you change how they think. The old self becomes a memory, then an embarrassment, then a threat. Cult leaders throughout history have understood this intuitively. Charles Manson renamed his followers. Jim Jones demanded they call him Father. The Heaven's Gate members wore identical outfits to signal that individual identity had been surrendered. Step 4. Us versus them. Once the old self is dismantled, the group fills the void with a new identity. And that identity is defined almost entirely by opposition. The outside world is corrupt, dangerous, spiritually dead, an enemy. This framing serves a dual purpose. It makes leaving feel like walking into a wasteland, and it transforms any doubt you feel into proof that the enemy has gotten inside your head. Doubt becomes sin. Questions become betrayal. The psychological walls go up, and they are built from the inside. Step 5. Loaded language and thought terminating cliches. Every cult develops a lexicon. Specific phrases that short-circuit critical thinking the moment it emerges. That's your ego talking. Trust the process. The flesh is weak. These are not random. They are engineered to terminate inquiry before it completes. Psychologist Robert J. Lifton identified this pattern across every high-control group he studied. When a single phrase can silence an entire line of reasoning, independent thought becomes structurally impossible. Step 6. Confession and surveillance. Members are required, to confess their doubts, their sins, their private thoughts. This is framed as spiritual cleansing. In practice, it is intelligence gathering. The leader now holds your secrets. Leaving becomes not just a social loss, but a potential exposure. In the NXIVM organization, members provided compromising material as collateral. In Scientology, auditing sessions were recorded. The confessional booth in the wrong hands is a perfect trap. Step 7. Dispensing of existence. This is the final and most chilling mechanism. The group declares that those outside it do not merely live differently. They are spiritually dead, subhuman, or irredeemably damned. This belief makes the violence of Jonestown possible. It makes the self-destruction of Heaven's Gate logical to its participants. When you are convinced that the outside world is not real, not valid, not alive in any meaningful sense, then protecting yourself from it or dying to escape it becomes rational. Here is what makes this so difficult to accept. None of these steps feel like manipulation while they are happening. They feel like belonging. They feel like answers. The most dangerous cults in history did not recruit the weak or the stupid. They recruited the searching, the idealistic, the kind. People who wanted to matter, who wanted community, who wanted truth. The armor against this is not cynicism. It is awareness. Knowing the steps does not make you immune, but it gives you something no cult wants you to have, the vocabulary to name what is being done to you. If any part of this script felt uncomfortably familiar, if you recognized a dynamic in your own life, past or present, there are resources. The Bite Model by Stephen Hassan. Robert Lifton's Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism. And people who have walked out the other side. Subscribe to Obscura if you want to keep looking at the things that are easier to ignore. We will be here, in the dark, waiting.